But let's bring in someone who might know a little bit more about this. Joining us with reaction to the president's trip so far is former State Department spokeswoman Morgan Ortagus. Morgan, I want to shift gears just a little bit because I think tomorrow, aside from everything that we're making out of Handshake Gate, the big elephant in the room tomorrow is going to be when he does meet with MBS is going to be the Jamal Khashoggi question. I think the press is going to go nuts about this. President Biden was asked about this today in a press conference. Let me play you the clip.
What will you say to Saudi leaders, specifically to Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, about the Khashoggi murder and other human rights practices?
My views on Khashoggi have been absolutely, positively clear. And I have never been quiet about talking about human rights.
Okay, so he won't answer the question. He kept saying, everyone knows where I stand. When Trump was in office, you know this, he was asked all the time, when you are meeting with Putin, will you bring this up? Will you bring this up? And he was killed by the press. Biden sits here and says, I despite all the stuff I said about Khashoggi during the campaign and, Saudi Arabia is a pariah, he refuses to say that he's going to bring any of this up when he meets with them. So talk to me about what you think the reaction is going to be after the meeting tomorrow.
Well, I think you're probably going to get very little out of it. I mean, this is really, I think, Sean, a damage control trip. They've really wasted the past 16, 17 months in the Middle East. As you know, we handed them historic peace deals, 4 peace deals, the Abraham Accords, of which I was very honored to be a part of. The first peace deals in 26 years. And by the way, everyone who knows anything about the Middle East knows that we were working hand in hand with Saudi Arabia, even though they did not formally join those accords yet. They knew what was going on. Nothing happens in the region without Saudi. And that's why you can't look at the relationship as being transactional, just about oil, for example. If you want to ever get peace between the Israelis and the Palestinians, you're going to need to include the Saudis. Yes, there has been dark times with our relationship with Saudi Arabia. We've had a relationship with them since President FDR and the founding king of Saudi Arabia, King Abdulaziz, very famous photo on a ship of the two of them. And there's been dark points in the relationship, but they have been a friend. They have worked with us on counterterrorism measures. We sanctioned them in the Trump administration. Mike Pompeo did after Khashoggi. We told them it was unacceptable, but we also recognized reality that they were a friend that was willing to work towards a better path, realized they had screwed up, accepted responsibility. It doesn't make it right. It's terrible. But we need to stop basing our entire relationship off of one or two things. I mean, look, we have Iran next door, which hangs gay people, LGBTQ people on a regular basis, one of the worst human rights violators in the world. We have an ongoing genocide right now happening in Xinjiang, in China, with Muslim Uyghurs, the minority citizens there. And no one ever asked Biden or his team, well, why are you talking to China while there is an ongoing genocide? So the media's fixation and fascination over this one issue, I think it's a little immature in the sense that this is not how foreign policy or national security works. You have complex relationships. Relationships are never black and white. You have complex relationships. And when you say, whenever you make the relationship transactional, when you make it just about oil or energy, for example, the transactional relationship is going to produce transactional results, which are not good.
Right. You did bring up the Abraham Accords, and Biden spoke about those today. Listen to this.
We'll also continue building on the Abraham Accords, which I strongly support because they deepen Israel's integration into the broader region and establish lasting ties for business, cooperation, and tourism. Tomorrow, I'll be the first American president to fly from Israel directly to Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. That represents important progress.
He talks about that flight. It wouldn't have been possible without the Abraham Accords, but he doesn't give any credit to the Trump administration. This is the guy who talks about diplomacy, the importance of diplomacy, essentially taking credit. I'm the first guy to do this, but he didn't create the deal.
You know, Lindsay, I'm just happy that they can even say the name Abraham Accords. I feel like for the first year of their administration, they couldn't even say the name. And listen, I kind of get it. I think it's a little silly. But we proved that their entire strategy for the Middle East was wrong, right? They said we're going to empower Iran, the biggest enemy of the United States, Israel, Saudi Arabia. they decided to empower Iran with the Iran nuclear deal, the JCPOA, and it inflamed the region, and it did not stop Iran's terrorism. They remained the world's leading state sponsor of terrorism after the Iran nuclear deal. And our administration, of course, we cut off that deal. We said, no longer are you going to get billions of dollars in sanctions relief to terrorize the region. And so what happened? Well, it's interesting. The enemy of the enemy is my friend, right? So all of a sudden, after we made Iran, the pariah state that it actually deserves to be, started the maximum economic pressure campaign against them, Israel and many of the Gulf Arab states and Middle East states writ large said, you know what, we can start working together because we do have some shared interests. We do have some shared values. And you know what? We have a common enemy as well. So when the Biden team came back in and tried to just reverse the past 4 years, like what our policy on Iran and the Abraham Accords never happened, well, it blew up in their face. They didn't accept reality. They should have used the leverage that we gave them. Instead, they've chased the Iranians around the world, begging, pleading, cajoling for them to come back into the deal. The Iranians have played them. They have no interest in coming back into the deal. And they just angered our friends and allies in the region in the process. So I say all that to say, Biden said some positive things on Iran today. He said they wouldn't get a nuclear weapon. Let's hope that his action can match his rhetoric. He's finally uttering the phrase Abraham Accords. All of this happened because of President Donald Trump, Jared Kushner, Mike Pompeo. And so, if they are going to pivot from the past 17 months that they have wasted in the Middle East, a very flawed strategy, and pivot back to our strategy, great. I'll support them. Whether they admit we were right or not, let's just get the policy right. Let's go back to the Trump era.
Small wins, small wins. We'll take what we can get. Morgan Ortagus, thank you for breaking this down for us.
Thanks, guys.